TUDOR is just one of those brands that always tend to catch everyone by surprise. I myself cannot wait till the actual following year rolls around so I can wait for their countdown clock to be displayed on the TUDOR website and add a notification to my calendar so I am one of the first to be notified about what is exactly that's being released. And with the new release of the TUDOR Black Bay Chrono in pink dial, you know the brand is not afraid to explore and try something different. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Right, you guys, welcome to another episode where we talk about watches and watch related topics. And before we go ahead, let's do a quick wristwatch check. I am currently wearing my Seiko SSK 001. It is a watch I actually owned in the past, but in a blue dial variation. So the minute I got a chance to repurchase this particular model, I ended up adding it to my collection. Now, if you're not familiar with TUDOR, TUDOR is essentially a baby brother to Rolex. Rolex being invented by Hans Wilsdorf. The idea was to create a much more alternative and a cheaper brand back in the early 1900s for individuals that were just not able to afford Rolex. Now, since then, TUDOR has completely separated themselves from Rolex. They are their own brand and no longer can be called a little brother to the big brother Rolex. The brand actually does very well on their own. But let's not forget that without the help of Hans Wilsdorf and somehow tying the history to the origins of Rolex, TUDOR would not be where they are today. Now, the brand has made many mistakes in the past, but in the recent years, the company has completely been able to stand on both of their feet. And with the recent release of the TUDOR Black Bay Chrono in pink dial, this tells you the brand is not really afraid to try something different. So let's talk a little bit about this particular model. What is my opinion of this release? Well, if we take a step back and look at other watchmakers in general, we can see that testing different color variations has somehow becoming a trend in other watch manufacturers. And TUDOR is just no different. They simply are following what the public really appeals to. And just as any watchmaker, not being afraid and trying new things can get you from point A to point B. This can be pretty much said for everything. If you don't try something different and hopefully not fail at it, you might just never found out that the thing that you've been working so hard towards actually could have worked if you just went through with it. And as much as we want to sit here and criticize the brand for making that kind of leap forward, I can guarantee you that the pink dial Chrono Black Bay Pro is going to be a desirable piece to get. Just like any release, the first few months tend to be very difficult to pretty much get your hands on any of the new released models. Let's just take a step back and look at TUDOR's most recent release prior to this one, which was the TUDOR Black Bay 54. I remember walking into a store, I couldn't see those in stock whatsoever, but recently I can see at least two of the models every time I walk into my authorized TUDOR boutique. So the question is, will I be buying the TUDOR Black Bay Chrono in pink dial? And unfortunately, it is not a watch that appeals to me. That's not being said that the quality is not there, but I currently own a chronograph already in my collection, which is my Omega Speedmaster 3861. I made plenty of videos about this watch, so if you would like to check them out, I'll leave them down in the description below. But this doesn't mean that the watch is not going to sell. I can guarantee you that this watch is going to appeal to a much broader audience. The watch is not that much different from the previous generations of the Black Bay Chrono. They're essentially the same watch, just different color combinations. But I am going to keep an eye out and I cannot wait to see what TUDOR releases in the next few days. Other than that, you guys, please go ahead and let me know what you think of this particular watch in the comments down below. Thank you for coming and I'll see you in the next one.